Betsy, and today we have a fun video. We're going to be testing out the new Vanity Makeup, the Signature Eyeshadow Palette. Now, this palette retails for $95. I ordered this upon release day, which was July the 30th. I just got it today, today is August the 4th. I'm hoping that I'll get this video up today. It is a 12 color eyeshadow palette, and the Vanity Makeup is supposed to be more of a luxury brand. I had never heard of it before this, but I saw the eyeshadow palette first and I was like, I want to try you. So as you can see, there are 12 different eyeshadow shades and there are 3 different formulas. There are 6 buttery mattes, which is this row right here, and then there are 3 intense metallic shimmers and 3 diamond sparkles. So as you can see, and you can even see in this lighting that those shades have quite a bit of sparkle to them. So I cannot wait to play. But because she's so expensive, it's like, well, let's go ahead and do some comparisons to a couple of my favorite nude eyeshadow palettes. So first off, we have the Patrick Ta. This is the Major Dimension eyeshadow palette. So as you can see, there is some overlap here. Now there's no cream shades, but I wanted to test the sparkles against it. This one retails for $68, which is still really expensive. And then I also have the Artist Couture Supreme Nudes, and this one's the cheapest out of the bunch, which is $42. So we're gonna start off by swatching and then do an eye look, and I will kind of tell you what I think. But yeah, I was interested in trying this because, again, it looked so pretty. And as you can see, it does have a pretty strong magnetic closure. It's not going anywhere. I do think the way that the eyeshadow palette was designed, because like as you can see, this is inset in here. It's like stamped in instead of just over the top of it. I do really like that. So we're gonna test it. I don't know how much each of these eyeshadow weighs. That's not really one of the things I check for. So we're gonna swatch her and then kind of see where to go. So we're gonna start off with our 6 buttery mattes. There aren't any names on these, which is fine. So these do really feel nice. Really nice, actually. Okay, so those are swatching really nicely. I'm hoping that this is good, but Vanity, which is the girl that owns it, is Vanity Anna, I think is how you, or Annie is how you say her name. She's a makeup artist. That's her brand, and she's been a makeup artist, I think, since it said on the website, since she was 15. So there we go. And last but not least, now I do love, if you look, I love the range and the depth of all these eyeshadows. I think that's kind of what makes it exciting to me. So I guess we're gonna kind of go through and swatch similar mattes to each other. Now the Patrick Ta only has 4 true matte shades. Now it's got a couple of cream shades, but it does only have 4 mattes. So that is one of the matte shades, so you can see it kind of falls in between the first 2. Kind of the same thing with that one almost matches the second. That one is a little bit warmer. So as you can see, it is kind of a mixture of both. The Vanity has a little bit more mixture of warm and cool. So those are the mattes from Vanity compared to the mattes from Patrick Ta. I feel like, as much as I love the Patrick Ta, I think that there is a tad bit more depth to the Vanity palette, in my personal opinion. And I like the Patrick Ta shimmer formula. So now we're gonna do the same thing and compare the Vanity shadows to the Artist Couture. But yeah, I don't know. I love eyeshadow. Y'all know this. And I've really been into nudes lately. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still love my colors. That ain't going anywhere. But I have really been into my nudes. So, first shade, pretty much, those are pretty close. And the formulas, the mattes on all these feel really nice. So I don't feel like see, this is the second lightest shade from the Artist Couture. I don't know if you technically need that. So this shade in between, if you look, these two shades are pretty similar, but the shades in between, this one seems a little light. Like I wish it would have went just a hair darker. So then we have next, which actually this shade pretty much matches the second shade. So there is some overlap in the matte colors in case you're wondering. But one of the things I'm noticing about Supreme Nudes that I was missing before is look at, there's a lot of mattes without a whole lot of depth. You know what I'm saying? Like these two down here are nice and dark, but the rest of it's a little lackluster in my opinion. Now looking at it compared to like the Vanity palette. Like, I don't know, like the mattes are great. It's just, I feel like there is a little bit, I don't know. And there's not as many shimmers, which I am a shimmer girl. I've talked about this a bajillion times. I like the shimmers. That is my favorite thing. So we're gonna start off by swatching. So this is one of the, oh, that feels nice. That's one of the Ultra Smooth Metallics. Then the next one is one of the Diamond formulas. Again, that feels really nice. Look at how sparkly that is. Okay, that's a really pretty color. That's like a really pretty taupe. That's another one of the Diamond ones. Now I do feel like those two shades are really close together, so I don't know if you need both of them. That's really pretty. But you see what I'm saying, like that's part of it. It's like, I wanna make sure I'm giving like good and honest feedback. That black is really pretty too. But you see how nice and buttery those are? They really swatch well. And the Diamond formula, like to me, isn't too glittery. It's just really, really metallic. I do love that that is how metallic those are. So we're gonna start off with Patrick Ta. So we've got this shade. So as you can see, the Vanity in comparison to the Patrick Ta, you can tell that the Patrick Ta is quite a bit crumblier. That one's not, but not all the shades in Patrick Ta. And this is one of the ones that is like a matte with shimmer. I'm not even really gonna compare those because to me, those are a little bit useless. That's such a pretty color. So looking at this, even though there is some overlap, I don't know. I don't know what I prefer. Now let's do the Artist Couture. So this would be the lightest, which is Lavish. That's really pretty. But you see what I'm saying? Like they're all really, really pretty. Nice and reflective. Part of it is I think you just need to see those. That's Artist Couture shimmers, that's Patrick Ta, that's Vanity. So I think if you're looking at these, now I haven't put Vanity on my eyeballs yet, but I do think that there is some overlap between the three. I feel like Vanity has the best variety of mattes, and there's more shimmers in the palette too. I don't know. But I do feel like these two tones, those silvery taupey tones, are pretty unique, at least to my collection. But yeah, so as you can tell, there's some overlap. I don't think it's bad. It's just, I want you to kind of know. And it kind of depends on what you're looking for in a nude palette. Because, I mean, like for me, what really sets this palette apart from a lot of the other nude palettes is that black section right there. Other than that, that's pretty basic as far as nudes go. I mean, let's be 100, let's keep it 100 and talk and say, hey, you know, if you're gonna say that this is unique, this is why it's unique. Do you need this in your collection? Probably not. But I do like it so far. I like how it feels. But how it feels doesn't tell me anything. Now, I did prime my eyes with the Pretty Vulgar Eye Primer because I am I finished off the NARS one, and since I'm doing a nude look, I was like, well, we might as well use a clear one. Now I'm just taking that lightest matte shade and setting my eyeshadow primer, because whenever I have a light matte like that in a nude, I always do this. I don't know why. I don't always feel, with nude palettes, I don't feel like I have to do everything on a sticky base like I do with colorful eyeshadow, if that makes sense. Nudes are just so much easier to work with for the most part too. I mean, but yeah, so as you can see, I'm not sure if you can tell, there is a bit of fallout, but nothing like major. So we're gonna go into the next shade, which is the little bit warmer color right here. And I'm probably gonna keep it a little on the warmer side when I do this eye look, because I think that that's going to be best today. And so far, other than a little bit of fallout, and I'm not really getting a whole lot on my face, these are blending really well. It's applying the way that you want. It looks nice and smooth. You can see there's no like harsh lines or anything like that. But sometimes you're just looking for the perfect neutral palette. Not everybody wants color. Not everybody wants hardcore glittery sparkle. So it's kind of like what is going to look the best and work the best for the type of makeup that you do. Does make sense? And I just like to play with makeup in general, you know, whether it be nudes, whether it be color, I just want to play. But yeah, well, I just blew it away. Don't mind me, it's everyone else, just to let you know. Okay, so I need another eye brush. What do I want to use? Okay, I think I'm going to take this. This is a BH Cosmetics number 10 brush. It's just like an angled fluffy brush. And I'm going to go into this orangey shade right here, that warm, very warm tone neutral. That is a pretty color. Now, is that unique? No. Not in the least little bit. Like, the colors of the mattes aren't unique. But the thing is, how do they perform? That's more what I'm concerned with. Because, again, for the average everyday consumer, you're going to get more use out of a nude palette than you would something that's colorful. You know, how often do you walk down the road and see someone rocking a full blue eye look? Now, where I live in middle America, where, you know, Southeast Texas, it is a bunch of beige all around, you know. And again, that's on you and what you want to do. I'm not going to tell anybody what kind of makeup they should wear or how they should wear it, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. And a lot of people want to have like that makeup that looks like they're not wearing much makeup. For me, no. If I'm going to take the time to sit there and put on makeup, I want it to look like I have on makeup. So this is one of the Spectrum Hello Kitty brushes. This is, what one is this? The B07. So now I'm going to take this brush and go into that deeper brown and apply that to the outer corner. But I mean, as you can see, they're layering nicely. No crazy amount of fallout. I mean, you can't really beat that, can you? That does add quite a bit of depth too. But yeah, I don't know. So far, so good. We love a nice blended eye look that's easy to do, because sometimes that's all you need. That's what you want. These are the kinds of eyeshadow palettes that are like, no thought, I can just do an eye look. So now I'm going to use a Spectrum A12 and we're going to go into the black. Does pick up nice and pigmented. And we're going to concentrate that black right on the outer edge. Really giving, you see how that adds quite a bit of darkness? Which is something that I like. I've said that a billion times before. I love a grungy, deep eye look. I want that deep and sultry kind of sexy eyeshadow look, in my opinion. So that's what we look like. I really like this. I'm tempted, but I'm not going to do it, to really get in and do a black smoky eye, but I just did a black smoky eye with the Tom Ford quad, so I'm like, nah, let's do something different. I didn't record the Tom Ford quad though. So we're gonna take and use our NYX glitter glue. Yay. Then we have the Spectrum A18, which is just like a flat brush, and this is what I like to use to pat out my glitter glue. And we're gonna see how many of these shimmers we can use on the eyes. Because so far we've used 5 eyeshadow colors. And I always like to try to use as many as possible. Do you need to? Not really, but you can. Okay, so we've got the eyeshadow primer all on. So first off, I'm gonna go into that black shade, the black, and we're going to tap that one onto the corner. Oh, that looks good. Again, let's always add some depth. I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but you know, I'm gonna make them complicated. Now we're gonna go into that second shade, which is the bronze, and we're going to apply that. Now, that isn't that real intense sparkly formula, the diamond. The next shade that I'm going to use, that's one of the diamonds. I think the diamonds are kind of the unique formula to this palette. Oh, that's pretty. You know what I'm saying? Like, that to me is the most unique portion of the palette, is the diamonds. And I like that they use black in it. I don't think you have to have black in every palette, but I do think that if you're going to complete like a nude eye look, you need, and you want that depth, I think having a black is always something that a lot of nude tone palettes is missing, in my opinion, except for like the little Wayne Gossix pan. I don't own that, but I have heard good things. So I'm gonna try just to kind of pat over the top with my finger. I do think that that looks really pretty though. Really, really pretty. Okay. Look how sparkly that, or not really sparkly, but it is shiny. And it doesn't leave like a lot of micro glitter like all over the face. So that's impressive. So there we go. That is the top of the eyes done. I'm gonna go off camera, do the rest of my face. We'll come back and do the lower lash line and talk about my thoughts on this palette. So I'm back and I have the rest of my face on. I used the Dose of Colors Donald and Daisy set on my lips. Dose of Colors has an amazing matte liquid lipstick formula. It is phenomenal and I have used that so much. Then for blush, I'm using the Chantecaille. This is the Stingray one. I use the Coral blush. It's so, so pretty. And then for bronzer, I decided to dig into, this is the Too Faced Pineapple Sun. So it's like from their Tutti Frutti collection, and I use the bronzer from that. But yeah, that's where we're at. And then on my, I used the Precision Gel I brought from Patrick Ta. Precision Gel Precision Gel Liner in Deep Bronze. It's not me, it's everybody else, okay? Let's just do it like that. So let's go ahead and go under the eye. So I'm gonna grab, this is the BK, or not BK Beauty, BH Cosmetics number 14. It's just an angled eyeliner brush. And I am gonna tap some of that black shadow just on the outside of the eye. Now, if you hear the train, I am sorry. There's not much I can do about it. And I am taking some of that black as well, and I'm going in on the waterline up top to help blend in my eyelashes, because I'm using those Kiss lashes that has the glue liner, and I really like that glue liner. I've used it with several of my other eyeshadow palettes, or not eyeshadow palette, eyelashes, and it works well. Now I'm using the same brush that I used up top, which is the Hello Kitty A12, to blend out that black underneath, and then I'm gonna dust that off, and I'm gonna go into that warm nude and smoke out the rest of the lower lash line. Now I didn't put on highlighter. I figured I would use one of the shades in here as a highlight because, you know, that is something I like to do on the regular. I don't know about y'all. One thing, it does give you like an additional way to test eyeshadow, and it also ties everything together. You know, both of the cheek products that I used had a highlight in it, but I do like to mix it up. Apply a little bit of mascara on the lip. See how pretty this looks? I mean, to me, we tend to forget, or at least I tend to forget, how good neutrals can look. I get so wrapped up in I want to play with color, that I forget that, you know, neutrals can be amazing too. But yeah. So I'm gonna grab, this is the BK Beauty number 13, and we're gonna go into this shade right here, and we're gonna use that as the inner corner highlight. I think that that's going to show up beautifully. And we'll see how that picks up and how flaky that is, because this is without glitter glue, this is without spraying. I really like how it looks though. Look how much that brightened up that inner corner. It doesn't get any better. I love, love, love a bright, bright inner corner. It is one of my favorite things because it really just opens up your eye. And I think it really does do something to like really complete an eye look. See what I mean? Okay, I take my powder brush. Make sure everything's blended. I really like this look. I really do. All right, now I need to find a highlight brush. This is the Hello Kitty with Time Spectrum. This is an A33 brush. I love these as highlight brushes. And I'm gonna go into that first creamy shade. Ooh. See how pretty that works as a highlight? I mean, it really is gorgeous. See how just that blends out? I love it. I love it. Now, it is a little blinding, or it is a little stark. Not too bad. And then one of the things I always like to do is after I do that, because it's an eyeshadow and it is a little bit on the starker side, is just kind of go over and reblend. So, this is the final look done. What do you think? I love it. I love everything about this look. I think this is an amazing palette. Now, do I think it's worth $95? That's for you to decide. You know, to me, eyeshadow, I don't mind spending money on it because I love to play with different formulas. And I do think that this is a wonderful nude palette. Like, I'm shocked. I mean, look how good that, oh. So, again, it's up for you to decide. If you've got a lot of other neutral eyeshadow palettes, do I think you need it? Probably not. If you want it and you have the money to get it, then go do you, boo. You do you. But I am happy that it is in my collection. So, I guess that's it for today's video. If you like this video, don't forget to give it 2 thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right down below. And if you hit the notification bell icon next to it, that will notify you when I post new videos, which is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Saturdays at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do a live. I didn't do one last week. Sometimes I skip. And there's lots and lots of other bonus content thrown out. But I guess that's it. So we'll see y'all later. Bye.